Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another episode of VS Code Live. I am excited to be here. We have like a great guest that's going to be popping up. So I want to say a general hello to everyone that's in the chat, right? So we want to just jump right in. So let's go ahead and bring up our guest, Chris Mariyanov.
Hello, everyone.
Yes. Hi, Chris. How are you? How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing great. I'm excited about our live stream today, especially with what you're going to be demonstrating. Could you tell us a little about what we're going to be talking about today?
Yeah, sure. So basically, we are building Copilot extension and MCP server, which are integrated inside Visual Studio Code, and they assist developers to build better code with our products using better context.
Perfect. So now let's talk about the company you're working with. What company are you with? And can you tell us a little bit about your background, how you got here? Because I do remember, I want you to say it and then I'll jump in.
Yeah. So I'm working for Progress Software, and we are building with Progress and Kendo brands. We are building UI components for enterprise application. So basically, for anything in the JS world, and Telerik, including most of the desktop frameworks, Blazor, my favorite, Kendo with React, Angular, even jQuery. So we are doing this part, and I'm personally part of the AI first team here in Bulgaria, and I'm working on building AI tools that complement our products.
Great. And have you been mostly focused on work with Telerik and Kendo UI tools, or is that just like
I actually started working in the Blazor team, and for a couple of years I was part of the team that builds the component in Telerik UI for Blazor, and then we started experimenting with AI, and now I'm part of the AI team that works closely with other product teams in order to add some AI-powered features and code assistance.
Nice. All right. So yeah, why don't we go ahead and jump in? Let's talk about the first tool. But by the way, could you tell everyone like what exactly Telerik and Kendo UI is?
Yeah, sure. So basically, Telerik and Kendo is the brands behind UI component library, and we are providing basically all of the UI components that you need, including let me just showcase to you, including data grids, data visualizations, schedulers, even more niche components like pivot grids and spreadsheets. And our data grids, it's the most popular component in our suite, and it provides a full set feature set, including grouping, filtering, sorting, aggregates, basically anything that you may need in your application. And the Kendo part, we have all of these component libraries for ASP.NET Core and even most legacy frameworks like Ajax. We also have mobile framework for .NET MAUI, and we have products for WinUI and WinForms and WPF. other than UI components, we are also providing some other developer tools like features and frameworks for testing, and even the feedware software that helps you to analyze network traffic. It's part of the
Nice.
brand.
So when we're building applications, sometimes there are components that would take a lot of time to just build individually, and this is a great way to use these resources, so we don't have to like build a data grid from scratch, or any of these other like components, right? To make our lives a little bit easier. Right?
Yeah. So basically, some of the people that want to use agreed components may decide to build it by themselves, but this is actually a really hard task, and we are, in summary, improving the productivity of the developers, so they can get our component and just start integrating their business logic inside and put their data and from different data sources. So they won't need to build something from scratch. They can improve their productivity using our different kind of components. And actually, with this kind of UI assistant, code assistant that we'll talk about today, is even one step further, because right now, when people are using our components, they still need to understand the core concepts in our libraries. But now, using AI, they may get some help from the coding agents in Visual Studio Code and Visual Studio, and just start without investing too much time reading documentation and looking at the demos.
Cool. All right. So what's like one of the first things you can show us so we could take a look?
So basically, one of the maybe one of the most interesting part for me is how easy everything is integrated inside your IDE and your code editor. And we invest much time in order to work in the specific way that the developers want. Some people prefer to use, in some use cases, allow this to use agent mode in Copilot in Visual Studio Code that basically can write something for them. Other people prefer to just chat a bit with AI and discuss some topics, just get some ideas, and then they write the code themselves. So we, with our coding assistant, we expose two different tools for the developer to work with. And the first one is the Copilot extension. As you know, the GitHub Copilot allows you to build extension with its SDK. And when you have built-in extensions, and you also have some third-party extensions. So basically, we built third-party extensions for providing context for our component libraries. When you install the extension, basically the extension is a GitHub application, and when you install it, you can call it just like that with calling the extension name. In this case, I will showcase the Telerik Blazor extension. And then you can ask something like generate me a grid. Sorry about that. With paging and sorting, for example. And I'll use ask mode here in order to see the result in the chat. This kind of execution is actually going first into our extension, and we use the user query in order to extract some relevant parts of information from our libraries. And we improve the prompt, then enhance it with our context, basically. And then we ask the Copilot to return the result using our context and the user prompt. This also get some information from the context that you are working on, or from your chat history, of course. So basically, now we get some ready to go Telerik grid. I can copy it and paste it. I can ask some Q&A on top of it, or just decide to do something else. And in Visual Studio Code, the Copilot extensions work both inside agent and task mode. This is something specific, but in Visual Studio, I think the extensions works only in ask mode. And the other thing that basically can also works as a tool for the large language model is the MCP server. So other than the Copilot extension, we are also exposing an MCP server, and the MCP servers are basically something that can be called as a tool while working with large language model. So you need first to register the MCP server inside your configuration. You can register it for the whole projects or globally. And to register our MCP server, you need just to use the npx command, which will evoke npm package. And you need to provide also the license key for your library.
Okay. A few seconds ago, you were saying that something only works in ask mode. Is that what you said? And not agent? Which was it, and why?
Basically, the Copilot extension have some specifics, because I think lately the Visual Studio Code allows basically to be executed everywhere for the Copilot extensions. But right now, Visual Studio, the whole Visual Studio doesn't allow you to run in agent mode extensions. So MCP is a way to go when you building something with the agent mode or your custom chat mode, for example.
Okay.
But yeah, in Visual Studio Code, they kind of work, all the tools work everywhere, which is great because you can decide which one to use and where. And I can also show you how the MCP works. Again, you can just ask for to generate a snippet of grid with sorting and filtering, and I'll change this way in agent. And the agent mode will also try to analyze different kind of my projects. So it will most probably read our current file and then decide to execute one or more times the Telerik Blazor systems, which is our MCP. Here we can actually see some more information about what we are providing as a context in order for the model to work better. And we can also see what kind of input the MCP and DOM decide to pass to our MCP. I'll try to go over what kind of context we are providing. And maybe this would be interesting for the people. But we are providing a few kind of different context. The first one is API reference. which is basically reference items from our API in the components. And this could be the name of the component or some of the properties. It could be a method or some other members from the component itself. Related to each of the item, we can have also examples that can help the agent to work better and to hallucinate less. And we can also have some relations. Basically, these are items that are related somehow to the main item that is found in our retrieval process. And other than that, we also have some documentation that is basically found relevant from our different data sources.
Cool. By the way, people in the chat, feel free to ask any questions that you have, and then we'll do our best to answer them. By the way, the sample code that it created right now, are we able to like visually see the output, or it's just like the backend right now? So there's really nothing to visually.
I can run the code and see the output and see what actually did. So basically, we are asked for, let me just check the query, a grid with sorting and filtering, I think. So basically, here is the grid with sorting and filtering. We can filter in today, but I guess there is no date for today dates. And we also have some additional features like paging and so on. I'm not sure if you noticed that, but since I was using agent mode, the agent actually saw that I'm working already on the page that contains a grid, and it gathered the information for my grid. It just added the features that I needed, in this case, sorting and filtering. So it kind of improved the grid that I already had here.
Nice. Okay, so that's like a good assumption that it made.
Yeah, but I can also ask it to generate something from scratch. And this is maybe the difference when you want to use ask mode or agent mode. Some of the people, from my observation, want to change the code by themselves because they need to they require better code quality, and they just don't want to give access to the code to an LLM. So in this case, you may want to use ask mode and just copy and paste, or just see how it goes and implement it by yourself.
Just to be a little bit more careful, right?
Yeah. In case your use case allows to give access to the agent to your code base, this may reduce the time, but also may change some additional things that you may not want to do.
Right. Okay. We have a question here by WQ Walter. I'm finding in agent mode that edits made by agent frequently truncates the C# or JavaScript file, leaving out some substantial functionality. What do I need to do when that happens? Have you ever experienced anything like that?
Well, I don't think I experienced exact same problem. I did experience some issues, but they're kind of depending on the model, and different models are working in different kind of flows. I did experience some things that I asked for example, agent mode to research a specific bug or something that is not working correctly. and it basically didn't just resolve the issue, but work around it, or even added a comment and just remove the functionality, which was strange, but this is part of the development with AOM. You just need to be really cautious what they do and use it only for things that you can understand and validate what is going on.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, Walter, I'm gonna look to see if I could find like the community page that you could try to post that question to. I know for VS Code we have GitHub discussions, and I think there's a category there for Visual Studio also. So let me look into that and mention it. But that's a great place where you could try to ask that question to see who else ran into that.
I also have one additional interesting example that it may be interesting for our audience. You may know that Visual Studio Code introduced custom chat modes a while ago. So this is something that you can, let me just show it. You can define as a custom mode. It's not agent or ask mode. It's a specific mode that is built for your use case. And a good use case, at least in my opinion for this, is introducing a mode that is only for planning. This is, in my opinion, useful because you can combine the issues that you may have working with agent mode, because you may ask for some kind of information, but most probably the agent will try to right away implement the feature that you just want to describe with it. And in the ask mode, the mode don't have access to search in your code base. And implementing custom chat modes, you can use some of the tools behind the agent mode that are basically reading your code base and searching for different parts in the code, or just looking the general context and overview of the project. But you can also restrict some of the writing tools that are basically will update your code. And this is really useful if you want to prepare requirements for a complex feature, or just to get answers for some of the parts of your code. The cool thing is that you can describe which exact tools should be used and are available in this chat mode. And you can also add custom MCP servers as a tool. And I wanted to showcase something that you can do implementing using this feature. We can, let me just, maybe. I prepared a prompt in order to showcase this. Mm-hmm. We can use quote Sonnet, which is a model that is really good at tool calling. I observed that some of the models, for example, GPT-4o, is not really going to call custom tools properly, but the newer models like GPT-5 or Quote are working really good with tools. They are fine-tuned in order to execute tool calls more frequently. And using this mode, here you can see that we are defining a description and also some kind of system prompt or custom instructions only specifically for this prompt. And we're asking it to basically prepare information and to learn about your project and create a detailed plan how you can implement something. And as I mentioned, it could use your custom MCP. And the request here is to implement a hero section using Telerik Blazor components. And the agent here is actually planning about this. It's calling a few times the Telerik Blazor tool for different kind of components. You can see that it called our tool for a Blazor component, and it also calls it for a card component. And it will prepare all of these informations for you, and it will create a plan. It also search in our code base in order to find all that it needed. And the output, it will be an implementation plan for a hero section for our page, which is really nice to have and not risk changes in your code.
There's like so many features coming out so fast. It's almost hard to keep track of everything, and even just like, like even like appreciating something because there's always something else. What are your maybe like your top 3 features like in the space that you're working at right now that you've really been appreciating?
I actually really like this chat mode, and it can be used for a lot of things. For example, we have some specific chat modes that can use separate CLI tools in order to work with data or run some SQL queries, but only for a specific kind of use case. And it's really useful because before them, you need, if you have some general use case, you need to describe really properly in your prompt what you need to do. You cannot change the system prompt and general behavior of the agent or basically the LM. But in this way, you can actually have some specific use cases that are predefined, and you can just run it and work with it. One other features that I actually was released, I think in the latest VS Code as a preview, is a to-do list tool, which basically when you are working in agent mode, you can use this tool in order to ask LM first to create some kind of to-do list that needs to be implemented using your prompt, and then it start working from top to bottom for each of the item. This is cool that if you want to stop the agent or just need to continue because you get to some limit, when you have this to-do list, it's actually much easier for the agents to proceed and continue implementing a feature. So I think from the newest feature, these are my top favorite.
Nice. And how do you like find out about these? Or is it because you're looking at the release notes, or you're subscribed to something? How do you keep on tabs of like what's coming out real fast?
I think I'm looking at the release notes, but some of the times I cannot evaluate how useful are specific features just looking at some release notes. So I also look at some other, for example, YouTube videos or articles that just describe them and showcase some use cases. Some are really easy to work with, and some are more trickier, and you need just first to look at someone how the things are done.
Okay. Anything else that you wanted to show?
So I'm not sure. Maybe these are the general things. If someone have some questions, I would be glad to discuss.
Okay. Anyone, before we start like wrapping up, if you have like any other questions, feel free to drop it in the chat. And yeah, and then we'll answer it before we summarize everything. So with Telerik, like there's been like so many, like new powerful features like with AI that it can like just like write like almost frameworks on its own, like based on like prompts. Um, why? What would you say to someone that says, "Why do I need to try to use this when now AI could just like create the grid for me? Why do I need to, like use your components?"
Yeah, this is a really good question because yeah, if you try to implement some relatively complex components, you may get a decent result even from a first try. But then when you want to extend it somehow, it gets really complicated. And even if you don't understand the technology and the specific, it's not really possible to optimize it without diving into really specific details for the specific frameworks. And additionally, right now, the DOM are not generating really quality code, especially for some complex use cases. So you may get something like 80% of what you need, but the rest 20 is really hard to achieve. Um, of course, additionally, you need to support this by yourself. Every single bug or feature needs to again be implemented by yourself, and you won't get some things like security and some accessibility or other enterprise features that it's kind of built in our components.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, like afterwards, like for the support, because yeah, you could try to go the free route and just ask it to like build a grid or something for you. But then if you need to add like much more sophisticated features, it gets more complicated. And then to support it afterwards, especially if AI is generating everything for you, you might not know, like it might be a big deal to like fix it. Whereas if we're like using these uh these UI components that you guys offer, then at least you're there to like help troubleshoot stuff that you're already familiar with, right? And make it in a
Yeah,
secure
and
way.
additionally, it's hard to create something like a consistent styles across separate components because it's not really easy to generate a component and then generate another that is
The
similar in
same.
terms of styles and looking and feel compared with the first one. And
Uh,
if you have 30 components that you may need to use, it will start looking really bad.
yeah, it'll look like a Picasso if he was coding. But then again, I don't know. Maybe people might like all that chaotic inconsistency.
Yeah.
We had like one question here from Manish. Uh, is there a way to give Copilot access to our local host using Playwright or some other MCP to get a view of what is being built, like for an Angular app? Producer, if you could put that on the screen so people could see. Is there a way? Yeah, is there a way to give Copilot access to our local host using Playwright or some other MCP to get a view of what is being built? I'm a little confused by that question. Manish, could you elaborate? Um,
I think I get it. The use case here is when you build something with agent mode, you may need to, for example, see if it runs correctly, or you may need to see if it's working as expected in terms of when you click a certain button, a certain event should be handled, or so on. So I think Playwright have MCP server, and you can include it in your third-party MCPs. And instruct, of course, you can even create a custom chat mode and instruct once your the agent is ready with the implementation, just to open a new page and browse and test the whole thing using the Playwright framework. This is possible right now. Maybe if you need to create a really customized test, end-to-end test using Playwright, you can also do that separately after with different prompt after the implementation. But it can also be apart from the initial query, of course.
okay. Yeah, I haven't used Playwright before, but I did hear about it, and I haven't thought about that in a long time. I remember I learned about like Selenium a long time ago, and then I guess Playwright's like the newer thing now. So I guess they were asking about that now that you're explaining it like that. Okay, good to know. We have another comment here by the Big Lamont. I don't know what that name means. With the introduction of terminal agents like Claude Code, Gemini CLI, are we going to have a CMD Copilot to streamline our workflows? It's easier to adopt Microsoft products. Thanks. Um, that's a good question to post in GitHub discussions for VS Code, the Big Lamont. Yeah, because there's like so much going on, and a lot of times when you guys are finding out something, I just learned about it like that week to start talking about it. So I'm not sure. It sounds like something that we may be coming up with, but yeah, it's gonna be like new for me, just like it's gonna be new for you.
Yeah, and here it's kind of subjective if it's better in terms of the developer experience uh, where you coding or vibe coding even the feature, because at least right now the LMs are not so good that you can just write a prompt and then test the application uh, with in a browser. But it, especially if you want to build something more complex, you most probably will need to look at the code and change it somehow. And the good thing is that Copilot is allowing you to easily compare the changes and see what goes into your code base. But the CLI tools like Quad Code are also giving you some access to this, but it's not really so interactive compared with the integration inside your code editor, for example. So it's kind of depending on the use case. Maybe if you just need to vibe code a specific small application, the CLI would be better because you may not need even to install any code editor, or just need to consider the code in any case, but just write a prompt. But specifically for the developers that are understanding the code, in my opinion, it's better to have it inside the code editor and IDEs.
We have another question here. Is this is a subjective one by WQ Walter? Is the Copilot experience in VS Code better than in Visual Studio 2022? I will let you answer that. I don't want to start a war over here.
So in my experience, because as I mentioned, I worked in a Blazor team before, and I was used to work with Visual Studio. Once I started working on different technologies and different projects, I switched to VS Code, and I'm right now using mostly the VS Code, even for .NET development. But I recently tested the experience of the Copilot inside Visual Studio, and some of the features are, first of all, the VS Code is providing a lot more features, and it's really smoother because they're just more mature. It's great that the Visual Studio is also having agent mode and different kind of features that are that we used to inside VS Code. But in my opinion, the experience inside VS Code is much smoother compared with the Visual Studio. I saw some issues, especially in agent mode, when the agent is starting to change your files. But I believe in the recent release, in the next releases, this would be fixed. So if the Visual Studio is a preferred platform for your development, you just may need to wait a bit. But if you really struggle with the experience, you may also try to check how it is inside Visual Studio Code.
Great answer. Great answer. I wasn't about to choose one. I'm like, they're all great. They're all great. It's like one of those waiters that doesn't want to tell you which meal is better than the other.
They are great. They have some specific use cases and some limitations from time to time.
All right. So I think those are it in terms of like the questions that came in. This has been a great, Chris. It's been a while since I had like thought in terms of like Telerik UI components, but it kind of brings back some wonderful memories. So what's up on the horizon that you guys could share that you could share with the audience to look out for? And for your new fans, how are they best able to like reach out to you if they have like any questions or anything like that?
Yeah, so right now we are started and released on production these code assistants, and we are starting with right now we have published 4 frameworks that support the coding assistants, and these are the .NET MAUI, Kendo Angular, and Kendo React, and of course Telerik Blazor. And we right now we are expanding and spreading the code assistants across all of our products, and we'll try to listen to the feedback. So if you can work with them and find some issues or some interesting use cases, it will be great if you can share with us so we can know them and improve at some point. Additionally, we are also aiming to release something that is more related to building the whole pages. Right now, we are working only with a specific component, and it will be great if you can also build the whole UI for your page. So this is something that we are currently looking for, and you can wait to see how it goes.
Perfect. And the best way to reach out to you, your social.
Yeah, you can find us at X and LinkedIn. You can also write us in our forum, and of course our support portal if you have any questions or issues.
Okay. And our producer could put that on the video description, the live stream description, if it hasn't been on the, it's not going to be on the screen right now. But this has been great. So thanks so much for joining, Chris, and everyone else in the audience. Thanks for your time and your questions. Feel free, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, to go ahead and do so. We also have a TikTok channel. And that would be it for today. So please join us again on another episode of VS Code live stream next week.
Nice.
Take care.
Thank you very much.